G'day, ZiggyD here with another Path of Exile guide. In this particular video I'm going to be breaking down what is probably the simplest way of going about actually finding gear to buy. There's a lot in trading that is quite difficult for players. I even have a lot of trouble with trading and finding the gear I want sometimes, but thankfully people are creating tools that make this a lot easier. So when you want to actually buy something for your character, usually as you get towards the later game, you start to need really specific things on your items. Like you need at least 4 or 5 specific stats on a piece of gear to make it worth buying. And you know, as you go, that gets harder and harder to find those things. You could sit in trade chat all day and never see an item linked. Or you could sit there saying want to buy a certain item all day and you would probably never get linked anything if your item is quite specific. The trading forums are a little better. Say I want to find a specific belt, I can go into people's shops and I can, you know, I can click here and look over each one of these belts and be like, oh, these are close. But you might find items that are close to what you want, but it's going to be very difficult to find, you know, very spot on items. However, there are a few tools, as I said, that can help out with this. So there are 2 ones that I'll show, but I'll focus mainly on PoExplorer, this one here. There's also PoE.XYZ.is. I'd keep an eye on both of them because they're both being upgraded a lot over time. I'm going to dim my screen a bit there so it doesn't bathe me in a white healthy gamer glow. So both of these sites are being updated a fair bit over time, and I'll link them both in the description below. So maybe try both out and find out which one you like the most. But personally, I prefer PoExplorer much more. It has a lot of interesting things like showing the people online right on the display page, and I find the whole interface a bit easier to use. So let's say you want something like I want some face breakers. So I'm gonna make a face breaker character. I want to go, you know, I want some gloves, armor, any rarity, I want uniques, and then this one even has an item name, so I can just type in face breakers here, if I can actually, it's kind of hard typing around my mic though, there we go. So I can just hit search on that and that'll bring up some face breakers, good stuff. Now what this does is, each one of these titles here, and it's the same thing in PoE.XYZ, that will link to the actual person's trade thread. So what these sites do is they index all of these shop threads, all of these want to sell threads and everything like that in the forums, so that you can just say, okay, here's Charlie Chan 55555 wants to sell these full link face breakers. Full link 981 more on physical damage. I wanted a good pair of face breakers, that's pretty sweet. So what you can also see here is that this little red dot means he's not currently online. So what I can do is I can scroll down. If I'm desperate to get some now, I can scroll down and see if there's any green ones. There's no green ones, unfortunately. The clear ones mean that the guy doesn't have a profile that's ranked highly enough to be able to see if he's online or not. So he may be online, but we can't really tell. There's a bit of a limitation there. So we've got this guy's face breaker thread. We can go in and just double check that it's still here. So maybe he's listed in his 4 links here, maybe, or maybe he's listed it in various other decent items. He should have it listed in here somewhere. There we go. He's got his 4 link uniques here for sale, still verified. And then we can see if he's got like a good idea is to check whether they want offers in the thread or if they want you to send them a message in game. If they want you to send them a message in game, they'll usually have an IGN, or they might have an IGN in their signature that you can look at to send them a message in game. So you can just add and send them that. So if otherwise, you know, if they're offline, you can leave a post in the thread if you're not desperate. So that's very basic, just how you do the face breakers. But let's say we want a very specific. Let's say we want a bow, and we want it to have at least 5 links. So we'll just 5 links is fine. That means it'll show up any 5 or 6 links. And then we want to make sure that we're in hardcore because we're looking for a hardcore bow. And we want a rare, and then we can go ahead and add some mods as well. So we can go something like. Let's just say we're looking for one with lightning damage, and we can put the min-max lightning damage in there, so we can go 1 to 50 or something like that. And then we can hit search on those after we've added in all of our mods, and it'll show up any specific items in that. And as you can see here, Radical Larry's online. We're like, oh, this bow looks okay, so we can click on here, go in. We see he's got his IGN here. We can send him a message in game. We know he's currently online, so we can send him that message. And what I usually like to do with that is just say, I'm looking to buy this item. You can say the name of the item. So if we go back here, we know Chimeric Siege. We can send him, I want to buy that item. do you have an idea in mind of how much you want for it? I find usually using these PoExplorer and PoE.XYZ tools that you're usually finding threads that haven't been bumped in a while, and the owner might have even forgotten about the items they're selling. But if they're still verified, that means they're still in their stash, and they're probably still interested in selling them. So what that means is you kind of have a bit of a good bargaining chip on that, because no one's really sent them any other offers. Things like 5 links already have a really solid inherent value, but if you're looking for a specific item that isn't too common or isn't too popular, then you know, they'd be like, oh, they'll be like a chaos or something like that, or they might say something like, you know, oh, just make an offer, whatever you like, and then you make an offer. Unfortunately, there's kind of this thing that's happening in the trading scene at the moment where people are blocking people that make an offer. They ask you to make an offer, and then you say like, I don't really know, a chaos, and then they block you. And I guess because they're offended at the nerve of you to offer one chaos for their precious item. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but you kind of just have to move on to that. The good thing about this tool is that there's plenty of results in here that I can go through, and there's even plenty of people online. So when I was looking for some face breakers the other day and I wanted to get some just that day to test and have a bit of a play around with, you know, there was like 5 or 6 people online. I messaged the first 2, and the second one ended up selling them to me for like very cheap. So pretty easy way to go about doing it. You can sort of play around with the different tools. You can get your skill gems. You can go search for quality skill gems and things like that. You can say, I want at least a 15 quality whatever whirling blades or something like that. Pretty diverse and good tools, and they're constantly being improved too. The owners of both of these sites are posting on Reddit regularly, asking what people want to see in this. Like a recent addition was this online or offline display. So very good, being improved. And this takes away what is one huge difficulty in trading, is finding those items, and allows you to actually potentially find much better items than what you would have. Usually you have to settle, or you just have to wait a very long time to be able to get a good item through trade chat or through the forums. So hopefully that's helped out with that thing at least. This whole trading difficulty thing that people have, which is a very big problem, I think needs quite a few different videos to maybe break it down. Or I kind of need to know also what you guys have trouble with specifically. So please feel free to let me know in the comments if there's a certain thing about trading that makes it very difficult for you. Like maybe it's knowing how much to offer for things, or how to go about selling, or how to go about buying. Hopefully this helps out with the how to go about finding items thing in the first place to buy. You might find, you know, at least this will help you find 5 different bows that are potentially good to buy. Even if you still have trouble actually buying those bows, that at least takes one step out of the equation. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.